Friendly greetings, it's Torley in widescreen. In this video tutorial, it's follow-up, more shared media fun. I'm going to show you how to get content. I'm going to use example of an animated GIF, but this also applies to other types of images, flash media, and so forth. When you want it to not only fill the face of a prim, but you want to have the correct aspect ratio so it's not squished or stretched. So first off, you can go ahead and build, and I'll show you all the steps from the beginning and just select build here and click. So we've got basic cube. Now we want to go to the texture tab, select face, just click the top face here, any one will work. Now select the full bright to make sure it's neutral lighting. We don't need to change these other things, you can do it later for tweakage, but these are the essentials. So now we're going to click plus to add media. And now I'm going to pop into my web browser. And yes, that's a rather funny image. If you can guess who that is a reference to, you get bonus points. The most important thing now is if you find an image on a web page, you want to get it by itself. And by the way, do make sure that if you're not hosting the image, that you have the right to link to it, because otherwise you might cause the site admin some problems. Hot linking ethics, right? So in this case, there are different ways to do it. Right click, and I'm in the Safari browser, but just different ways of isolating the image's address. So I can copy the image's address. There's probably something similar in your web browser, sometimes copy image URL. And I'm just gonna go ahead and paste that in. So it looks like that, no surprises. Now what this also tells us is right here are the pixel dimensions. And by the way, if you save the image to your hard drive, you should also see those in any image editor. That's really, really important, because here's what we're gonna do. So I just copied the address, as you can see. We're gonna go back into Second Life. I'm going to go ahead and Control V, Command V, I'm on a Mac, to paste that in. That's really important. You gotta paste that in. And then what you do is uncheck this auto scale media because you have a specific size. So you notice right now the preview, it's not filling up. There's gonna be white space on it, but you want it to be filled up. So here's what you do. Remember the exact size, that was 500 by 375 in this example, and you can apply that. And now you'll see that it loads like that. So getting closer, now that's okay. The problem here, when I zoom in, is of course there is still white space. So how do you deal with that? Well, you can try shuffling things around manually, but that is tedious. Thankfully, there's a handy align button here. Just go ahead and click that, and it does the math for you. Notice these very fine coordinates. So it automates that process. But now we have another problem because, we're kind of squished higher. It's a square and the original image was not a square. So what do? Let's go back, right click, select the object, and go to the object tab. Now notice the size in meters. Okay, so we're most concerned with, as you can see from here, the X and the Y coordinates because of these colored arrows. As you can see here, these are the two of the three dimensions we're going to be dealing with. So we're going to modify these first two. Let's pop back into our web browser. Now what we need is a ratio calculator. So there are a whole bunch on Google. You can just search for ratio calculator. I clicked on the first match. I've also used the second one if you watched previous tutorials. And let's go ahead and plug in some numbers. The first couple boxes will be the dimensions of the image. You may want to have a notepad handy to write those in. So 500 and 375. Now I'll scroll down. There are other previewing options which are very handy. It's cool how it updates it in real time and does the math. Now notice if you're working with smaller prims, you'll want to uncheck this so it can show decimal positions. So for instance, if we want the prim to be, say, 2 meters wide, then the X value would be 2666 repeating. It's not perfect, but we can round up. So with that in mind, let's go back into Second Life here and with the numbers. So 2667 in the first, and then right here, 2. So it's too stretched right now, but let's zoom out and see how it looks. Aha, we've got it. Hey guys, what's up? So that's one example. You can do this with other content like Flash content that's isolated on a page. You can use it complementarily with the data URI method I previously shared. Look that up as well. But hopefully this will show you how you can get something to fill the face of a shared media prim at the correct aspect ratio. Yezerama.